All right, shalom, shalom. My name is YAH. I'm with Savior Word of YAH, Tabernacles of the Congregation of Yisrael. And this is our weekly Bible study. And the title of our Bible study today is The Latter Day Awakening. The Latter Day Awakening. And what we're seeing right now, we're seeing literally in the public eye, we're seeing some of our newly awakened brothers literally going to war with the synagogue of Satan right before our eyes. And whereas we should expect, the brothers should expect that they're going to get support from their brothers. They're getting a lot of attacks. They're getting a lot of attacks. They're getting a lot of our people that are not awakened yet, that are so easily manipulated by the mainstream, because the mainstream is going to just go ahead and paint a picture of, it's all about somebody trying to speak negative against a race of people or something of that nature, when all these individuals are doing are literally just speaking the truth, just letting folks know. So this is all prophetic. This is all according to our biblical timeline. If you have watched any of our previous classes, we have closely followed the prophetic timeline of us becoming a nation and the events that have to happen prior to us becoming a nation. That's the only way that we know where we are in prophecy, is the events that happen. And what we're watching right now is literally the Great Awakening, the latter day awakening that's spoken of by the prophets through Yah's word. And this is going to lead to the next great step, which is going to be us becoming a nation. And in that process of us becoming a nation, you're going to have to go through this great tribulation. So part of that great tribulation is when they're attacking us and you don't know who you are. That's one of the biggest parts of Jacob trouble, is when you don't know why people attack you. You don't know why you're the enemy. You don't truly understand what the war is, and you're thinking it's on some, maybe if I just assimilate, things will work out. But that's not the case. So, I'm not saying that we are to worship any of these brothers or believe like any of these brothers are the return of Christ or anything. No, that's not prophetic. That doesn't add up. But what we do need to support is any of our brothers and sisters that are doing works, doing any works, putting out works, like our brother, Mr. Dalton, that put out Hebrews to Negroes, which, I've corresponded with the brother before regarding the project. And then we have the brothers with Rebirth that put out a nice project, Reclaiming the Throne. That's on Tubi as well, which, we've corresponded with them as well. And both of those individuals have put out some really great work that's here to educate the people. So we want to support that, get that out. This is all part of the latter day awakening. Again, we are a nation. It doesn't help if 2-3 of us are awake, or even one group of us are awake. We have to be a nation so that we can fulfill all that Yah has put for us. So we're going to start discussing that, talking about this prophetically, what's going on right now with this great awakening. And hopefully we'll be able to help guide some of our new brothers and sisters along the way, because we're starting to see a lot of people, because it's becoming a mainstream topic on Twitter and Facebook and social media, Instagram. So people are starting to awake. They're starting to ask questions. So we're going to open up first in Hosea chapter 3, Hosea chapter 3. And we're going to see one of the prophets kind of describe, what happened to us and what is going to happen. Paraphrase it. All right, so we're going to pull the scripts up. We're going to go to the book of Hosea chapter 3. And we're going to start that at verse 1. And what we have to understand, and YAH explained this, they asked him, well, why do you talk in parables? And he said, it's because it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the Most High, the mysteries of the world, but not unto them. So it takes a spiritual eye to understand these things. And it also takes some knowledge and some wisdom of this word to study, to get an understanding of what the Father is trying to say. So Hosea chapter 3 and verse 1. Then said Yahweh unto me, go yet, love a woman beloved of her friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of Yah toward the children of Yasharah, who look to other gods and love flagons of wine. So this is talking about us as a people. So he's letting you know that this is parabolic and it's talking about us. He's saying to this prophet Hosea, who's a servant of the Most High, and telling him, go love an adulteress. Go marry an adulteress. And he's saying, because this is representing what you children of Israel are to me. You are after other gods and drunken with doctrine, drunken with wine, drunken with excessiveness. Verse 2, so I brought her to me for 15 pieces of silver and for an omer of barley and a half omer of barley. And I said unto her, you shall abide for me many days. You shall not play the harlot, and you shall not be for another man, so I also be for you. And this is representing what the Father did. He took us, idol worshipers. Remember, Abraham's father had idols, idol worshipers, right? Look at what we did when we left Egypt, idols. These be your gods, Israel, that freed you. So he took a bunch of idol worshipers, which are adulteresses, right? Harlots. And he married us and said, look, I won't be for another nation. I'll only be for you. Just like he said in Amos chapter 3, you alone of all the nations have I known. And then we forget the other part. So I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. You're right. So he's giving the parable. And what we have to understand is when we see certain people in our lives go through things that are Israel, they are servants of the Most High. So Yah can use them for parables. He can take somebody like a Kanye West who might have said some ignorant things, like many of us, especially many of us in the music industry, and he can turn that brother and show and change him for an Ezekiel type of parable where he's repenting, where he went off into some wickedness, and then now he's repenting and he's coming towards the light, like he did with Saul, Paul. All right, so verse 4. So this is the prophecy that we're getting into now. For the children of Yasharah shall abide many days without a king, without a prince or principality, without a sacrifice, without an image, without an ephod, and without teraphim or healers. So we're going to go many days without culture. You don't have a king, you don't have a kingdom. You don't have no dominion. Without a prince, you don't have principality. Without sacrifice. So that means your sins are unaccounted for. Without anything representing us, the ephod, that the high priest, where we won't have high priests, we won't have any of those things. This is the prophecy. And this is also the verse that non-believers like to use as an excuse of why they're not doing animal sacrifices. Well, a prophecy is not an excuse to break the law. If you don't have a propitiation for your sins or somebody to bear that iniquity for you, which is in Mashiach, to buy you that grace period until you can pay for that sin, then you're dead in your sins. All right, so this is where we have been. So Israel has been many days without a nationality, without a heritage, without a culture. And this is where we are approaching to now. Afterward, so after these many days that we didn't even have a king, our king is in heaven. So we've been without a king. Ever since he left, we've been without a king, without a prince, without a sacrifice, without an image, without an ephod, and without a teraphim. And afterward shall the children of Yasharal return and seek Yahweh, their Elohim, and Dawid, the house of David, their king, and shall fear Yahweh and the good and his goodness. But when is this going to happen? Is that going to happen 100 years ago, 1,000? In the latter days. So that's where we are now. We're in the latter days. So that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing people return, our people. Hey, I know who I am. When you return to your culture, you're saying, I know who I am. So big shout out to my Aki, Yeshayahu. Good to see you, family. Ain't seen you a minute out there in Carolina. Shalom to my brother Luke is cool. Brother Aaron Hicks, good to see you, family. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to all the other listeners that are on as well. Good to see y'all, family. So again, this is where we're at. We are returning in the latter days. This is why we're seeing our celebrities now open up. Now, just because they open up and they stand up and they put the information out, you can't depend on them to stand up there and take all the abuse and the backlash and the death threats and lose all their money and all that. Yeah, we would like for them to do that. But if you ain't making those sacrifices, don't talk about nobody else. Because just alone by the fact that they put themselves out there to even talk that has brought so much light to the subject matter. So if they're not strong enough to stand up, then Yah will be the judge. But they're putting it out there, and more importantly than them putting out there, they're waking up as our brothers and sisters. You want to see your brothers and sisters wake up. So hallelujah for that. All right, so let's move on. Let's move to Acts chapter 7, and let's take a look for some of our beginners. We're going to go over that story of Israel real quick, and we're just going to look at a few points so we can catch us up to speed of who we are as the children of Yasharal. All right, so we're going to go to the book of Acts, chapter 7, and we're just going to read 1 through 8. Do a quick paraphrase of the children of Yasharal. All praises, brother Yeshayah. Blessings to you and your household as well. And we definitely miss y'all as well, man. Good brother right there. One of the, brothers from the beginning, as I was a young teacher coming out to share notes with me, to go against iron sharpen iron. Brother would support him, and his family would come out when I was out in my living room. So praise y'all, man. Brothers like that are really hard to come by, man. So it's good seeing you on the post again, brother. And we definitely have to connect. And Shalom, sincere king. Good to see you, family. All right, so we're going to go to the book of Acts, chapter 7, and we're just going to read verses 1 through 8. Then said the high priest, are these things so? And this is Stephen. This is one of the first believers in the new church, in the church period. That means after Mashiach's death. That's going to be the first martyr per se, that's going to die for this truth. So he's letting these folks know the truth. He's telling the righteous are bold as a lion. So he's telling the high priest, which are the Israelites or so-called Israelites, supposed to be Israelites, the truth, and see how they treated him. They stoned the brother. Verse 2, and he said, men, brethren, and fathers, hearken. The Elohim of glory appeared unto our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Haran, and said unto him, get you out of your country and from your kindred, and come into a land which I shall show you. Then came he out the land of the Chaldeans and dwelt in Haran. From there, when his father was dead, he removed him into this land wherein you now dwell. So this is the story of the Hebrews. This is the story of the Jews, where we came from. So this is the history and the culture that we don't get in Black History Month. Black History Month, they like to start as conveniently as slavery. Well, before slavery, who were we? Well, this is where our history goes back to Abraham. It can go even further, but we're talking about Abraham as far as Hebrews and Jews. All right. And verse 5. And he gave him none inheritance in it. No, not so much as to set foot on. Yet he promised that he would give it to him for a possession and to his seed after him, when as yet he had no child. So we are going through our Abraham moment. We are captive in the lands of our captivities across the four corners of the earth, and we are awaiting our possession that was promised to us by the Most High. We have to get up and go to a land that we know not. We don't know that land. We've been over here in bondage all this time. So this is parabolic of what we would go through in the latter days, because Abraham represents the children of Israel. All right, so this is where our journey is. Verse 6. And Yah spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years. So verse 6 is important again, the 400 years, but we have to be entreated evil for 400 years. So easily from 1619 to 2019, we have been treated evil in this country. So we expired that 400 years. Now we're at the next marker of the prophecy. And verse 7, and the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge. And guess what? We're in bondage across the four corners of the earth. And you're in bondage if you don't know who you are. If you can't say, you know what, I'm tired of the way they do things here. I want to go do things the way my culture do things. I'm going to go home. You can't even go home. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you live. We're going to go to a whole continent. So the nations that did this, he will judge. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing waves of these things happening. This judgment ain't finna just be one place, one person. Oh no, this is finna be something that you gonna not be able to deny that the Most High did this. And that's what we're watching happening right now as we speak. And we're gonna read what the final judgment is, but the judgment has already begun. Verse 7, and afterward shall they come out and serve me in this place. So what place is he talking? He's talking about Israel. So afterwards, after all the judgment, we're going to come serve him in that place. And if we pull the reference to that, which is in Genesis chapter 15, it's going to start talking about, and we're going to leave out with great substance. So prepare yourselves, Israel. We getting ready to leave out here with great substance. We didn't do this 400 years of journey for nothing. And where we're heading to, Yah said, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. We can't even imagine the beauty that he has. So if that means we got to endure standing up for the truth for this short little period of time we have left, let's do so. Let's not forfeit those crowns. It ain't worth it. Not for this foolishness. Verse 8, and he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begot Isaac, Yishak, and circumcised him the 8th day. And Yashak begot Jacob, and Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. So that's the 12 tribes of Israel right there. Abraham, the sons of Abraham, the son Isaac, directly from Abraham, the son Jacob, directly from Isaac. And Jacob had 12 sons, and those 12 sons are the 12 patriarchs, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. If you are not part of those 12 tribes, you may be a Hebrew, but you are not an Israelite. And the synagogue of Satan, those people are not any of the 12 tribes of Israel. They're not from the seed of Isaac, and they're not from the seed of Abraham. At least Esau from Isaac, But the synagogue of Satan, they not even from that. They tell you who they are, and they tell you who their forefathers are. And it's up for us to read. They don't have to, they telling us who they are. We the ones. Then they want to punish us for talking about it. Well, guess what? You should have put it out there who you were. You told us who you were. All right, so the 12 tribes of Israel. So you got to know who the 12 tribes of Israel are. You got to know who you are so that you can know where you're heading or where you're going, so that you can understand why a company like Nike would turn around and suspend Kyrie Irving's 8th shoe. Coincidentally, 8. Interesting. 8. The 8th day. Well, anyway, his 8th shoe, when he's one of the highest grossing shoe sellers of the basketball shoe for Nike. Literally the hottest in the game right now. One of the best designers. Then you have them giving up all that money. Adidas giving up millions, over $1 billion a year. They're giving up in money off of Kanye West. What could be so important? What could cost so much money, cause them to lose so much money that they would instantly in a day, 2 days, give up all that money? And now you're talking about Apple Music drop Kanye? Are you kidding me? Apple Music? This make me not even want to have an iPhone. That's how much that pissed me off. This information that we are teaching, that you're learning, that you're giving out to your brothers and sisters and your family members and strangers, it's more valuable than billions of dollars. They're terrified. Because you see what happens when we come together? Hebrews to Negroes, the #1 book on Amazon, #1 seller, bestseller. Come on. They're terrified. So imagine this. Just imagine this. Kyrie Irving and Kanye West come together and make a new shoe that's black owned. And it's a black shoe. They make a black shoe. How much money would they make and how much money would they lose on the other side, the adversary? They would lose a lot of money. So we gotta understand it's about money. This ain't just about, they hate. Yeah, they hate, but they love their money more than they hate us. This is about money and control. So let's move on. Let's go to Psalms 137, because our ancestors, they refuse to forget. That's why we still remember. That's why we had some people that knew who they were, that were able to spread this on, so forth and so on, until it could be all the way down to Generation Z or wherever we at, so that they can know who we are. So this psalm right here shows you how important it was while we were being captive to remember our land and to remember who we were. And in order to do this, it came to a point we weren't even allowed to read anymore. So we had to do the instructions of this psalm through Negro spirituals. That's why all the Negro spirituals were Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kwam, rise, Yah, my Yah. We had to talk these songs. We had to sing these songs to remind our people of where we came from, because we couldn't read. We couldn't pass these things on. So Psalms, Tehillim, chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. How many of you are weeping when you remember your homeland? Many of us are weeping. We don't even know why we crying. We miss home so bad, and we've never even been there. It's in our spirit. Verse 2, we hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song. And they that wasted us required of us mirth, happiness, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. Yeah, sing when you're little, rap, nigga, rap. Sing you a song. Sing one of those gospel songs. Like that gospel singer that came up there sing about trying to rap about the lamb will bow down to the lion will bow down to the goat and all that food. Man, get your corny behind up out of there, man. We're supposed to be singing songs of Zion, and we would refuse to sing these songs for these people. Verse 4. How shall we sing Yahweh's song in a strange land? How can I sing songs of joy in captivity? Verse 5. If I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. And we have lost our skill set. We can't do nothing. Nothing. Your right hand is righteousness. Verse 6. If I do not remember you, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. We don't even want to go home. We don't even want to leave America. We so prisoner of the mind. We think Africa and Israel and all these places look like a Tarzan, a jungle. Verse 7, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation, or destroy it. All our neighbors clapped hands, like when Debo got knocked out. Yeah, in Friday. And I can't blame them. We were haughty. We were doing the same things they were doing, yet we was getting blessed by YAH. So of course they was going to be jealous. Verse 8, oh, daughter of Babylon. Babylon or daughter of Babylon? Who are to be destroyed? Happy shall he be that rewards you as you have served us. Happy shall he be that takes and dashes your little ones against the stones. Yeah. This is why we didn't want to sing in this strange land. These people took our babies. Our babies. I got a little baby in my house right now. And took the baby and threw the babies off the wall. That's what they did to our people. And you telling me that you gonna sit up there and you gonna claim my identity and I'm gonna sit here and be quiet? Did your babies get thrown off a wall? Nah. You were in your own land dealing with the consequences of your own actions. We got videos of your so-called rabbis talking about what y'all was doing over there, what caused the people of the lands to be upset with y'all. So no, we're not gonna hide the truth. Now, I'm not gonna hate you because nobody that did that is here today. But I'm not gonna hate myself to make you feel comfortable about stealing our identity. I'm not gonna do it. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50 and let's get to this daughter of Babylon. Let's look at some of this judgment. We're gonna talk about the judgment, then we're gonna move on and we're gonna go to the awakening. So Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50, and we're going to read 1 through 13. And, we gotta, I always gotta, say some things sometimes that's on my heart. And it's like, we so hard on our celebrities. And, we, of course, yeah, we expect them to be like us, how we think we are. But see, I can sit up here because I got a couple hundred viewers. So I can sit up here. They ain't caring about me. I can say all this stuff. That's the benefit of being under the radar. Yeah, I talk a little bit too much crap. They're going to kick me off for 3 months, but I'll be all right. But these brothers and sisters, you understand who they're up against? Billions of dollars. They make people disappear. And you best believe our brother that did Hebrews to Negroes, Ron Dalton, this brother, you best believe he getting death threats. So yeah, the man might have made millions or over a million. Who knows off of this? But guess what? This man got to look over his back. And this brother is standing firm saying, I ain't backing down. I ain't taking nothing back. And I don't even agree with everything in this documentary. But guess what? I don't agree with everything my elders say. Neither do they agree with everything I say. But we work together because we work and we stand on the truth. So whatever's true, we stand with that. Whatever's not, I'll fix it in our class or I'll fix it in another documentary. But nobody got it all. Nobody documentary got 100% truth. We still piecing it together. We got to come together for this truth. So we're going to look at this judgment of Babylon and the daughter of Babylon. And you have Babylon, confusion, and you have the daughter of this confusion, the nation that came out of where this confusion came from. So Jeremiah 50 and verse 1. The word that Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Yirmiah the prophet. Declare you among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken. Bel or Baal is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. And these are the names of the idols of their land. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north comes up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove and they shall depart, both man and beast. Ooh, wait a minute. That's pretty. Whatever's coming is going to make both man and beast depart from Babylon. So when they talking about the north, it could be the northern continents, on the correct map of the earth, or it could be northern of those ice walls. I don't know. I'm not going to get into what I can't prove, but consider that for those that understand what I'm talking about. Verse 4, in those days and in that time, says Yahweh, the children of Yasharal shall come, they and the children of Yahweh together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek Yahweh their Elohim. So this is the great awakening. The children of Israel and Yehudah shall come together. So the Jews and the northern kingdom shall come back together as the 12 tribes, and they will weep, just like we wept when they built the foundation of the second temple, because there were elders that were there from the first temple and saw it get destroyed. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. So that is the awakening. This is what we're seeing. Yeah, you can make a covenant as far as getting circumcised. Yeah, that's nice. That's well and nice. But if you still operate like a beast, you're just a beast with a circumcision. Yeah, it's no different than getting your immersion. You just a wet person, a wet sinner. So we have to come join ourselves to Yah in a perpetual covenant. That means forever we're going to continue working to keep the covenant. And the covenant is like a marriage. A marriage is forever. It's perpetual. You got to keep working at it. Verse 6, my people have been a lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. Their shepherds and God and Lord and all that foolishness ain't teaching them a lick of this word. Ain't even told them who they was and what they need to do, but they told them where to put that money at. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away onto the mountains. That means they're turning them to the government. 501c3. 501c is tax-free status. That means a nonprofit is already tax-free, but a nonprofit can make profit and not pay taxes on their profit. That's government owned. You think they're going to allow these camps that are nonprofit or these churches to come out there and speak? Where's IUI? I almost said it. Where are these 501c3 large camps? Where are they speaking at? They can only say so much. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting places. Salakia, I don't never like to call out any of my people. I almost said it. I would call out deeds, but I would never want to discredit the good deeds that are being done by my brothers and sisters because of something negative they have done. Just like I wouldn't want my negative things that I do as a human being to discredit the over a decade of work I've done through YAH and with Savior, word of YAH. Verse 7, all that have found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they sinned against Yahweh. So our enemy knows why we in the problem we in, but we don't know. And how we don't know? Because they stole our identity. So they said, we're going to know who you are. We're going to destroy you because we know why you're getting destroyed. YAH is giving us the power to destroy you because you sinned against YAH. But in the meanwhile, since the Assyrian captivity, which is when the northern tribes left, they have started to strip our identity. That's why the Assyrians took us and they placed us all over the world in their domains that they had all over the world. So we wouldn't have no culture. We couldn't gain no footing of who we were. Like we were in Babylon, at least we all stayed together, so we knew who we were. In Egypt, we all stayed together, so we knew who we were. But since the scattering of the children of Israel out of Israel, we were separated. It was little cults here and there. They want to call them cults, little cultures here and there that kept it. So verse 7, all them that found them have devoured them. The adversaries saying, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Verse 8, remove out of the midst of confusion, remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks. So we have to remove ourselves from this confusion. You have to save yourself. You got to save your own soul, your own flesh. Yahushua will save your spirit, will save your salvation. But to save your life, you have to do that. And you have to do that through his example. He showed you how to save your life. Fear the one that can kill your flesh and your spirit. Verse 9, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. That sounds like a world war. From the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From there she shall be taken. Their arrows or missiles shall be as of a mighty expert men. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said Yahweh. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of my heritage. Yah's heritage is his land and his people. Because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness and a dry land and a desert. So you daughter of Babylon, your mother, Babylon, ecclesiastical Babylon, is going to be confounded at looking at the daughter of Babylon, America, how it's being destroyed. Like, wow, woo. Because it don't talk about Europe being destroyed. That's not what it's talking about. It's not talking about Iraq being destroyed. But there's one country that's here on this earth right now, one large landmass that's here on this earth that's not In Genesis chapter 10, the table of the nations. What nation is tabled for this place here? None. And guess what? Everybody's going to return to their nation. So if this was your place of national origin and this place is being destroyed, then that would mean you're going to be destroyed with this place. Nah, this place is going to be destroyed. Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, is going to be destroyed, and everyone is going to go back to their own homes, and they're going to know the truth, and they're going to know who the King of Heaven is, and who his people are, Israel, who the real Jews are, and the rest of the tribes. Verse 14, or verse 13, because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So that is the judgment of Babylon. Complete, utter, total, holy desolation and destruction. There will not be anybody living here. Verse 14. So if you, Israel, don't find out who you are, where are you going? Everybody going back to their own lands. Where are you going to go? Yeah, drop me off in a continent. What airport you going to get off at? Verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about, all you that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh. Shout against her round about. She has given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her as she has done, do unto her. So all those places you've disrupted and problems you've caused, let that happen to you. So that is the judgment of Babylon. So let's get into the awakening. Let's go to Ezekiel, Ezekiel chapter 37. So we are seeing this parable being acted out right now that we're about to read in Ezekiel chapter 37, the valley of the dry bones. We are those dry bones. We are the nation that has been dead, that has been many years without a king, without a prince, without an ephod, without a teraphim. That's us. When the last time we had a flag that wasn't the flag of our slave masters? Ezekiel, chapter 37. And we're going to start this at verse 1. The hand of Yahweh was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of Adam, or son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Adonai Elohim, you know us, or O Adonai Yahweh, you know us. Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O you dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus says the Adonai Elohim, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. So these bones in this valley is us. This is representing of what was given to Abraham in Genesis chapter 15, with his deep sleep, a darkness that will come upon us. That's us. We've been asleep so long, we're dried all the way out where you can't even see the flesh on us, the culture, which is the prince, the king, the ephod, the bones, the teraphims, the idols, the images, all those type of, you can't even see those things anymore. I take that back. You see the idols, but you don't see the other things that made us who we were, the things that Yah gave us. Yah didn't give us no idols. Those are dry bones. But Yah said, I will breathe. I will speak unto you. I will cause the Ruach to enter into you. and you shall live. You will be a nation again. Verse 5, and I will lay sinews upon you and bring up the flesh upon you and cover you with skin and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone, and this is the shaking. If it's not happening, it's preparing to happening right now. This trumpet being blown, us coming together, where you now seeing Mayweather, another king, who been telling folks he's an Israelite, who says, before I do anything, I consult my mother and my Elohim. He said it in an interview. Supporting Kyrie, supporting Kanye. These bones coming together. You got a basketball player, bone. Rapper, bone. Boxer, bone. 3 different completely trades coming together. So I prophesied, verse 7. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, thus says the Adonai Elohim, come from the 4 spirits or 4 winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied that he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And that's what's being developed. And they know that there's war coming. They're terrified. So anybody they're looking at that looks like they're going to be a general, a captain, a lieutenant, whatever, they're coming for them. They're trying to cut this war from the get-go. But it's inevitable. Jacob's trouble is inevitable. The world has to go to war because nation has to come against nation. And there has to be a line drawn in the sand between believers and non-believers, between the Church of Philadelphia and everybody else, the non-believers, Church of Laodicea, the hot or cold. Yeah, you could be hot or you could be cold. I don't know who you are. Some of your people hot, some of your people cold. Some of the times they hot, some of the times they cold. They think they rich, they got the money, they got a name, they doing all these things, but they naked. Verse 11, then said he unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasharah. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore, prophesy and say unto them, thus says the Adonai Elohim, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. They call it home of the free. We call it home of the slave. They call it home of the brave, right? We call it hell here. This has been hell for us. And that's what hell is, the grave. So we coming out of these graves, this hell holes we've been in captivity in, and he's bringing us back to our land, the land of milk and honey, Israel, Yasharallah. And you shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened up your graves, oh my people, when I've opened up those borders where that passport ain't stopping you no more, child support, felonies, being broke, lack of even knowing where to go. That is not going to stop you anymore because the whole world is going to know who you are. You're going to know who you are. And you leaving out here with great substance. He's freeing the prisoners. We think when they talk about freeing the prisoners, they going into jail free. You the prisoners. Yeah, they're going to free the people in the jails too, but you're the prisoners. Verse 14. in the bed? Salakia, looked like we had a rodent issue. Y'all bear with me for a second. How big? That big? Wow. Mm. We're going to close that door. We let to chill for a second. Salakia, we done had some kind of infestation or something going on, man. Wow. What a convenient time. Anyway, so like I said, our people are going to be freed from this place of our captivity. And shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live. I shall place you in your own land. Then you shall know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, says Yahweh. All right, praise Yah. So to understand that you are going to become a nation, you got to even at least understand who you are, know who you are as a people. This is why it's so important. This is why they're coming out, talking, telling the world who we are. All right, so let's go to Acts chapter 13. Acts chapter 13. I heard that loud scream from the other room. I was like, what was that? Acts, the book of Acts, chapter 13. There might be a little exaggeration going on too here, but either way, we're going to get to the bottom of it. My brother going to handle that right quick. Acts chapter 13, and we're just going to read verse 1. We're just going to give a little reminder in case some of our viewers don't know what Israelites look like. All right, so Acts chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church that was Antioch certain prophets and teachers. All right, so prophets and teachers. Israel. You can go to Romans chapter 9. You want to see who those people are. Romans 11. See who those people are. That's us. We the prophets, we the teachers. Not no other nation are the prophets. No other nation are the teachers. That's given unto us. All right. Now, there were certain church that was Antioch, certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas. He's also known as Joseph or Joshe, which is he's of the tribe of Levi. And Shimeon, that was called nigger. Literally, they called him a nigger. Literally, this is in the Bible. Niger. And I know they want to call it Niger, but that's not how it's pronounced. We're going to look it up. Let's look at that word, the Strongs for that word for nigger. That's G3526 in the Greek. Nigger. And if you can see it here, let me pull it up, see if y'all can see it. I don't know if y'all going to be able to see it. Just so you see the Strongs for this. Yeah, y'all can see that. So here's the Strong. Notice how it's pronounced. Nigger. Nigger. Of Latin origin. Black. So they call this brother black. How many white people you know they call black? Hey, what up, black? Nah. How many white people you know they call him nigger? Don't know any. But guess what? How many white people they calling Christian? A lot. A lot of white people call Christian, right? Well, look at this definition here of nigger, of Latin origin, black, nigger, a Christian. So these Christians, these first followers and believers of Christ were Israelites. And what does he look like? Black. What do they call you? Black. What do they call him in Spanish? Negro. What do they called him over there when we were in Spain? Negro. And when we were coming there, we were known as YAHs. We knew who we were. They know who we were. So that's in case you forgot what they look like. But this class ain't all about that. That was just a quick reminder. So let's go on. Let's continue with this latter days of what's happening right now. Two things are going on. People are coming to the light or they're hiding in the dark. 1 Timothy chapter 4. First Timothy chapter 4, and we're going to start this in verse 1. And this is the warning for the latter days, because this is what we're going to have to deal with in the latter days. First Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. Now the Spirit speaks expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. So these seducing spirits and doctrines of devils are all type of things, telling you all kind of weird and strange doctrines and strange ideas to do weird stuff. There's one thing where they taking people's blood and putting them on to exfoliate, just weird stuff. And now you got a whole bunch of people coming out here trying to push doctrines that we not Israel. The world knows that. We the only people that don't know that. But you got people of our own people working as agents to disrupt us from telling the truth, speaking lies and straight up hypocrisy. Look at your boy that owned a movie theater, but he gonna speak out against Kyrie Irving, but his movie theater premiered the movie. That's straight hypocrisy. Having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which YAH has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So what is the truth? The truth is clean and unclean meats. Leviticus chapter 11. That's the truth. So if you know the truth, you know that it's lawful to eat certain meats. If you know the truth also, you know that there is no more sacrifice for sin. The perfect sacrifice has been done. So your animal sacrifice ain't covering your sin. If you haven't been circumcised in the heart, you dead. Ain't no more animal sacrifice to hide behind anymore. If a perfect man sacrifice don't cause you to have a humble, contrite spirit, then that's it. So that's what that's talking about. Forbidding to marry. When you taking people talking about, you see anything? All right. It's forbidding to marry. You trying to tell brothers they need to just be single and not ever get married, and or all that weird doctrine. How are we gonna be a nation if we all single? So we're gonna commit whoredom and have children? Nah. You're gonna have to marry. How are you gonna be fruitful and multiply? So you want to be fruitful and multiply and don't take care of your family? Now you're gonna have to marry her and take care of your family. So this is the type of weird stuff that's coming out right now. Verse 4, for every creature of YAH is good and nothing to be refused if it be received with thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of YAH and prayer. If you know the truth, you ain't going to be confused by what he's saying. He ain't saying go eat unclean food. Stop it. Verse 6, if you put the brethren in remembrance of these things, you shall be a good minister of Yahushua Mashiach, nourished up in the words of faith and good doctrine, whereunto you has attained. But refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto holiness. So all that weird stuff and all this, focusing on all these weird doctrines and trying to chase these rabbit holes, leave it alone. That's why, like even I told you about with the north, outside the ice walls, and the north, the continents that are outside the ice walls. I don't get all into that stuff, man. Some of that stuff might be wise fable. I don't know. But rather exercise thyself, rather work and exercise yourself to righteousness. For bodily exercise profits a little, but holiness is profitable unto all things. So yeah, when you exercise, your body gets stronger, but at the end of the day, they don't make your spirit stronger. It's not going to make you be less susceptible to sin because you can bench press 500 pounds. No, that profits some things. But then, people take the other way around and say, see, that's why you shouldn't work out. You should be a fat, sloppy bastard. Nah, no, that's how you're going to treat YAH's temple. But don't get it twisted. Y'all don't care. You got a beautiful church, but nothing but wickedness going on inside of it. He don't care about that. Having promise of the life that is now and which is to come. Verse 9. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living YAH, who is the savior of all men, especially of those that believe. So this is why we labor. And you have to be willing to suffer reproach. Oh, you just hold what you got. You best believe. You're going to be that Kanye and you're going to be that Kyrie in a minute if you haven't already. Y'all going to make you stand for this truth. And many of y'all got to stand for this truth when it comes Friday at sundown. Now you're going to stand for the truth. You going to stand then? Or you clocking in on the Shabbat? If that's your circumstance, I pray you're able to repent. I'm not here to judge, but I will judge the actions. These things command and teach. Let no man despise your youth, but be you an example of believers. And that's the hardest part, being the example of the believer. I can believe and I can learn, but being that example, that's tough. Because I got to be the example when other people not being the example. Nah, that's not fair. That's how we feel. Nah, you got to be the example. That means you got to take the low road. Be the example of believers in word and in your behavior, which conversation in this sense is meaning your behavior, in love, in spirit, in faith, in purity. So I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in you, which was given you by prophecy, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery. So these things were given to you by prophecy, that in the latter days, the young men would see dreams and visions and the young maidens and all that. We would get this spirit poured on us. Not only on us, all flesh. That's why the world is now receiving the spirit of truth and has to make a decision. Because he said he's going to pour out the spirit on all flesh. Now, what are you going to do? You are in a very unique time in history where you're seeing Yah's scriptures unfold right before your face. And you have to make a decision. And not making a decision is Laodicea, is being lukewarm. Who do you stand with? Now, if you don't stand with Israel because you don't understand, I'm not telling you to just go stand. Go study. Prove it wrong. Trust me, and you trying to prove it wrong, you're going to become an Israelite because you can't. The reason people don't want to be Israelites no more is because they don't want to suffer reproach and they don't want to labor. They just want to be holy, or they just want to be the chosen and do whatever they want. Then you God, you the Most High then, if that's the case. Verse 15, meditate upon these things. Give yourself wholly to them. That means give your all, that your profiting may appear to all. So this is what holds us back. This is why many of us have, including myself, have such great gifts, but we haven't given it wholly unto Yah. So it hasn't profited to the level that it can appear to all. It's only profiting on a small level. And that it happens to all of us. So until we can start wholly giving ourselves, which means not only what I do, but working with my brother who also does the same thing and working with the other brother who also does the same thing, then our profitability can appear to all. Take heed unto yourself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this, you shall both save yourself and them that hear you, because people are watching you. They're watching you more now than ever. So this is what you need to prepare for. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 8. We're going to read a few verses there. Zechariah chapter 8, Zechariah chapter 8, and we're going to read 20 through 23. Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 20. And then we have one more for the conclusion. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go quickly to pray before Yahweh and to seek Yahweh of hosts. I will go also. So look, it's talking about that many people, it just says people, it doesn't say Israelites. When it's talking about us, it's talking about us. It'll say that. And these inhabitants are going to say, let's go before Yah and pray. How do they even know to do this? Why are they not going to the Christian Jesus and the Pope and all? Why are they not going there? Why are they not going to Islam? Why are they going to Yahweh? That means the saints are doing their job. We a nation. They know where they can go. Verse 22, yet many people and strong nations shall come to seek Yahweh of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Yahudim, or in modern English, Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Yah is with you. How do they know Yah is with us? Well, how did Rahab know about how Yah destroyed Egypt? How does she know? Because the big bully got taken down. Because the place was destroyed and the fame went everywhere, and people were terrified of the children of Israel. Because if we wanted your city, it was ours. Because Yah was giving it to us. That's how these people going to hear about us. Because anybody that get in our way, you're going to get that smoke. Because when our big brother come back, our king returns, it's that smoke. You don't want none of that. Why you think his eyes is red? Why you think he got fire in his eyes? Because he looking at the world on fire. So you have to prepare, Israel. Which side do you want to be on? You got to prepare, Gentile. Which side are you going to be on? The side on fire? Or on the side with the saints, the side with Mashiach? Which side you want to be on? The believing or the side that's getting destroyed? So let's go to the conclusion. Jeremiah chapter 16. And we're going to read a few verses there. Jeremiah chapter 16 for the conclusion. Again, in the latter days, this awakening that's going on. This is all prophecy. This is where we're at right now. This great awakening. Yah is going to restore us. Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh lives, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. That's us now. That's the time we're in now. We know Yah as Yah. Yah that brought up the children of Yasharallah out of Mizraim. That's the Yah we know. What's your name? What should I tell them? Ahiah. Tell them Ahiah. Tell the children of Israel, Yahweh Elohim, of the God of Jacob, the God of Isaac, the God of Abraham. That's my name and memorial. That's the God we know. But this is the God we going to know. Verse 15. But Yahweh lives. This is the God we're going to know, that brought up the children of Yasharal from the land of the north and from the lands where he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So we're going to know him as the God that brought us back, the God that made the whole world recognize us again as a nation. The niggas recognize the niggas as a nation. No more, they can't call us black no more. They got to call us the Yahudim, the Yasharala, the chosen people, the kings, the Adanes, the people they gonna bow down to. That's how they gonna remember us. And we gonna remember Yah as the one who did that, who brought us back to where we were supposed to be. But we fell from our own fault. And how is he gonna do this? Verse 16, behold, I'm gonna send for many fishers, says Yahweh, and they shall fish them. That's who we are. We're the fishers. Because remember, he told Kepha, I'm going to make you fishers of men. That's the beginning of Mashiach's church, his assembly. So we represent that assembly. The Church of Philadelphia, we represent that assembly. And we fishing. We out every day with all kind of bait. We got coffee, we got music, we got clothes, we got classes, we got artwork, shoes, everything we could possibly do. We fishing. This is all prophetic. We don't got to be doing this. We could be playing Xbox. We could do anything. So this is prophecy unfolding before our eyes. Behold, I will send for many fishers, says Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. It says in John chapter 3, I think John 3:19, I have light has come into the world, and man has despised the light and stood in the darkness so that their deeds were not made manifest. But Yah is sending these fishers, these hunters that are hunting these sinners, not for judgment per se, to kill. That's one understanding. But the other understanding is, no, you hunting them with this truth. You shining that light. It's manifesting what's in the dark. Now it's been manifest. What you going to do with it? Now you know you're the children of Israel. You a king, the son of a king. You a prince. What you going to do? You going to keep acting like a pauper? You going to keep acting like the Joker? Or you going to act like royalty? Verse 18, first, I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double. Because they have defiled my land, they have defiled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto you from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So some of these Gentiles gonna wake up and say, where I thought, because we own all the banks and we make all the money and we control it, we can shut down people however we want because we own the financial structure. And they're gonna realize, wait a minute, I'm in the Church of Laodicea, I'm naked, I'm poor. This stuff ain't profiting me. I ain't making no money. This little green piece of paper ain't doing nothing for me right now because that system is done. Verse 20, shall a man make gods unto himself, and there are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh. We know it. They gonna know it. So this is what's coming. This is where we're at. This is an exciting time. Just even getting over the 400 years, we saw a change. We felt it. Now with this, just the past week, 2 weeks, this resurgence, this is major. You had the richest black man in history just come out and put his fortune on the line. And people thought, oh, he fell off. Man, this man he just got rid of all his contracts with the white man, all of them, and own his stuff. But he poor because because Forbes ain't saying he a billionaire. Man, F Forbes. Then how convenient your other boy slid in there. Now all of a sudden he a billionaire. Another one of our people. Come on, man. That ain't nothing but a club. So be part of this awakening. You are already awake. You didn't awake today. Many of you have been on this. This is our time. Continue to spread this truth. Don't be hardy. Don't brag. And we can't be jealous of the brothers because we've been doing it. I've been teaching this for 10 years. This brother came and did one post. But guess what? Hallelujah. All of them ain't going to go to the church of YAH. All of them ain't going to go to the church of Kyrie. They're going to need real mores that been doing this. They have elders. They have real elders that been doing this. And they're going to need real brothers and sisters like you that have been trying to tell their friends and their family the truth. So we got to sharpen up on this information. We got to show people that these prophecies and who we are and be part of this latter day awakening. So this is all we're going to do today, brothers and sisters. Let's see if we have any questions or comments. Tada Rabbah, Brother Uriel Valdez, we appreciate the blessing. Yahushua's Hamashiach's name. May he bless your family as well, brother. So that's all we're going to do today. Yah's will. We will see y'all for Shabbat. Again, if you have gained anything from Savior Word of Yah Ministries, then please go ahead and donate to our ministry. If you are able to do so, you can visit our website at saviorwordofyah.org. Hit the donate button. You can donate securely, or you can go right off our YouTube page and hit the donate button. So praise Yah. Yah be with everybody in Yah's will. We will see you for the Shabbat. Shalom.